What a beautiful day. We are dumping Feather. This is Don Kryptonium, and today I want to have the discussion with you. How did we get here? What is crypto? And what is the move going forward? Before we start, I want you to like this video to show the support to the Don Kryptonium and let me know what you think about this discussion. So we have few points to address. First, are we in this together? Second, is FTX crypto? Third, the markets. Fourth, the influencers. And maybe what is the way forward? I will answer all of that things. So I want to start before this because always when we dump, we get the videos of the people, hey, we in this together. The reason why we build this has never been clearer. Remember the bright days ahead. I hate this. I hate this San Francisco vibe in my life. So here is the quote I like. It's always darkest before the dawn. But I like the Dan Lynch quote a little bit better. It's always darkest before the pitch black. You don't know who else have $6 billion holes. You don't know the balance sheet of the Binance. You don't know the balance sheet of the Bybit. You don't know if Tether can cover and much more. But I want to tell you, the markets are very clever and the markets are always able to regulate themselves. So the further we go into the shit, the more the markets will regulate. I can tell you, the unsustainable things do not go together. And I remember the people telling me the quotes, hey, Ponzi's are okay as long as everyone knows that is the Ponzi. It will not last forever because markets are very efficient and it's a great system that actually every single time it happens. Back in 2008, when we had a property speculation bubble and where the banks were making unwise, unproductive investments, it actually went down badly because unproductive investments always end the same way. So I want to get to the subject of crypto. Is FTX crypto? Does it affect crypto? Does it represent crypto? Because many people think some Bankman-Fried, whatever, and FTX represent crypto. So here's Algot. He's the famous trader who shorted Luna, benefited a lot. And he said, crypto is simply fact. No way trust will be restored after 2022. I hope SBF, Do Kwon, Three Arrows Capital root in jail. They probably should root in jail because I believe they performed criminal activity of gambling with the user funds. But I don't think that this represents the crypto. FTX is not the blockchain platform. FTX has no relation to the crypto innovation and anything that is being built. The FTX was simply a trading platform to make money, and they got hooked up of gaining more and more power and tried to scale it really fast. They had the other department that was Alameda Research, that was crypto trading firm. And this firm was successful because they had insider views to FTX and they were using this position to benefit themselves. And probably the people like Caroline and others engaged in Alameda left with hefty checks at the same time, leaving the company fully bankrupt and leveraged because they were not great traders. They were just insiders who tried to make money. And the same about FTX, FTX doesn't develop blockchain. They don't really build the DeFi systems. They don't build the new layer 1 protocols. The whole point of FTX create the platform with the superior user experience that will addict people to the trading, to the leverage trading. But at the same time, it seems that SBF and others addicted themselves to the same game, because they were extremely profitable in the bull market. But the bull market was driven by the massive speculation bubble where not only US governments, but the governments around the world given out the checks to the people. They stimulated the economy, and people, instead of using these checks to buy food, to invest into businesses, decided to use them because of the easy access we have with the Robinhood and other platforms. They decided to use them to boost the speculative bubble in stocks and the crypto. So that left these companies extremely profitable. But as the markets regulate themselves, everything has to be flashed. And as everything was flashed, the FTX didn't want to lose the position. They wanted to gain the market share. So they started buying other businesses. It appears the way they were doing this, they were getting more and more debt. In fact, something that worked extremely well before, getting early in the layer 1 protocols like Solana and then dumping on retail was working very well. And I think FTX tried to make more money. They couldn't make more money because the market was going down, the trading activity was going down, and there was race to the zero fees. So where you make money, hey, let's start investing in the new layer 1 protocols, so maybe they will pump. But these new layer 1 protocols are illiquid investments. So the same way that the banks were doing back before 2008, now the FTX started doing this, investing large sums in the chains like Aptos. I think they invested in Sui. They have huge investments in Solana, but hey, you enter at the bad price, and in fact, you're investing in the Aptos, valuing the chain at $3 billion. Let's establish $3 billion is a lot of money. There is lockup period, so you cannot simply get out, and they probably hope, hey, it's gonna go down, up. If it's gonna go up, we have these illiquid investments. Maybe we can leverage this later. It didn't work. And some people checked their balance sheet and they were like, bro, you are fucked. But once again, it's not crypto company, it's simply trading company. So as the balance checks were done, it's shown that the FTX have massive hole, right? And where's the SBF? And SBF, 6th of November, was retweeting Caroline, another person that was performing criminal activities, that it's all fine. But on the 7th of November, they were extremely grateful and bending to everyone, admitting the defeat and admitting that they lied. They lied to Congress, they lied to the users, they lied essentially to everyone. And it seems FTX was focused on this unproductive investments more. They were focused on investing in Aptos and trying to gamble. They were focused on unproductive investments of how is it called? Not bribing, but like donating large sums to the Democrats, to both sides of politics, to essentially bribe the policymakers in their own favors. Markets always clear up themselves. So this is how we end up here. What's the way out? Crypto protocols are still working well. The crypto protocols are not stopping. I would not recommend you to keep your finances ever on any exchange, even though Binance looks safe now, because it seems they were doing better. But do you know the balance sheet of Binance? We don't know, right? Like I heard they hold 8 billion in Ethereum. What if Ethereum do negative 50%? They sure it will spike the large number of liquidations, right? So you don't know if they have any debt or not. It seems, I really like Kraken. They were scaling very slow. It's one of the earliest exchanges, and it's not up in top 5. I think they were doing smart decisions. So there are people who have moral core, who do this for the right reasons, who do this maybe for the love of crypto. And I don't see the love of crypto in FTX. I don't see it in the Coinbase. In Binance, I kind of see that CZ seems to be interested in crypto, but I feel the Kraken, Jesse Powell, and others, they really into blockchain space. So maybe they're in this for the right reasons. So Algot also said, if you have life-changing profits, would honestly just advise you to withdraw all and live low life. So I assume he was using FTX to trade and he got really fucked. You know, fly close to the sun, never trust anyone. Also, I want to tell you like why FTX and others do not represent crypto. And the credit is due to the credit is due. I have some hexers, so I don't like hex. I think there is kind of cult of Richard Hart, but Richard Hart sees the fucking toxicity of the space. And once the DeFi start booming in 2021, you could see Celsius pop out, FTX become big, you have BlockFi and other companies, but all of these companies were centralized and they came to you and they tell you, look, we are not the bank. We are not gonna fuck you. We are better than banks. But they lied. They are worse than banks. So they were companies that were telling you, hey, invest in us. We are going to take the cut. We are going to give you the huge APR. But at the same time, we will take your funds and we will gamble in the DeFi protocol, hopefully to win. If we will be taking more and more leverage. But don't worry, because if we get screwed, we're just gonna take away your profits and you're never gonna see your money. It's way worse than banks. It's horrible actors, okay? So I hope these horrible actors actually root in jail because they are just scammers. And this is not DeFi also. I want to bring you, sorry for like slowing down. That was really good post of Sunny. And I need to shield Cosmos. You know, like I like Cosmos because it's funny that Cosmos avoided it all simply for the reasons like, hey, we at Cosmos are non-investable. Too big influence of the community, venture capital doesn't want to touch that, and guess what? We are doing just fine because of these reasons, okay? So where is that the Sunny tweet? Okay, here is the Sunny tweet. But before, so Sunny says, timely reminder why this is so important. And I tell you, this is crypto. You know, this is DeFi is not Celsius, it's not BlockFi, it's not FTX. So Osmosis built the DEX away from centralized custodians. They build a fully independent DEX on chain that doesn't rely on the centralized exchanges, and centralized exchanges can only lease that if they buy the tokens of the exchange. With that, this is the most efficient way of building DeFi, because if there is something bad, it will regulate itself. So you can see in these chains, they have massive crashes in price and stuff like this, but the protocol doesn't stop and the protocol doesn't get bankrupt because the protocol fixes itself. So you cannot get to this place unless the code would be hacked. So you are risking the hack, but you're not risking being scammed by these bad actors. So these bad actors use this DeFi to benefit themselves and lie to you. And this is interesting point from the Richard Hart. And let's listen what he had to say actually.
What was FTX worried about? FTX worried about DeFi killing centralized finance. Binance is worried about DeFi killing centralized finance. Unless they can get their fucking hooks in the DeFi, lock it up, and then, oh, DeFi is great, right? So what they did was...
So this is really, really valid point, you know. The DeFi is actually a problem for centralized exchanges that are not crypto. They are trading platforms. So look, hey, DeFi offer yield to people. How about we are going to offer yield to people and we promote it and we make sure that we accommodate people and we make sure they don't go to the self-custody. That was the strategy. And you know, like there are worse actors than that.
They did a vampire attack against Uniswap by duct taping on a shitcoin to liquidity farming, which was sushi. And then they all listed it on their exchanges rather instantly and farmed it themselves, right, to earn yield. And that was their hope of getting their corporate hooks into DeFi in order to, like, okay, well, if our centralized play loses volume due to DeFi's.
So, of course, I don't want to play it all, but this is valid point. This is truly valid point, you know. And DeFi will win probably over decentralized exchanges because it can regulate itself. And centralized exchanges, markets will always just simply regulate that. If they will do mistake, this mistake will be fixed by the market. And I feel the DeFi will be more efficient. There is problems with the DeFi. DeFi has the problems that all of the loans and everything is DeFi is simply used for the speculative assets and not for productive economy. This is also issue with Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is used simply as the liquidity on most of the exchanges. It doesn't have like value. I'm just like quite concerned about this because Bitcoin is moving with other speculative assets, but doesn't have the changing technology that some DeFi protocols have to actually change the way we view the finance. So what else we have here? The next thing I want to touch upon is the crypto influencers. And I've been repeating this so many times, you know. So let's start from the crypto influencers, the one that you think they're good. Let's go with the first idiot, absolute disgusting anti-Lark Davis. So I heard many people in the past saying the Lark Davis is good influencer. There is proof on chain. There was proofs on Twitter. Lark Davis during 2021, together with other influencers, were shilling you as shitcoins, non-utility DAO tokens, that when the video was released, he was simply dumping on you. And you were buying to pump the price so he can dump it on the high price. This is actually horrible, and my business model around YouTube was never to do this. You know why? Because when you see that there is the DAO protocol or anything going to crypto influencers, paying them to shield the token, you might question the motives behind that, because the motive seems, hey, our motive is to pump the price. Why? Good protocols are the protocols that people go to use because they are good, but people are always drawn into making money. That's why people go into people like Lark. Hey, Lark, show me. Maybe I can watch your video in the first second so I can buy quickly and sell it quickly to make money. But you always be loser. So it's not only Lark Davis. Lark Davis was dumping on you probably the most, I think, when it comes to shilling the chains. Then the Journey was shilling a lot, and then he actually dropped the NFT where he actually sucked out from you $60 million. There's Ilio Trades, heavily sponsored. Ilio Trades, who was also a shiller and a scammer. There is also BitBoy that was shilling you, although I see the big change in BitBoy. And he stopped doing that, so it has to be encouraged that he actually feels like maybe something was wrong, but he's the guilty who was actually shilling on you massively. Who else is there? There is Alex Becker, that was actually also considered maybe to be good. He was shilling tons of coins in 2021, paid sponsorships, also running the weird ventures. What else? Is there Moon Carl, complete rat, disgusting rat, who used the Bybit, launched its own token that was like massive like liquidity drain and made hundreds of $millions with partnering with shady ventures. But it also regulating itself. Who else was there? Crypto influencer. Let's Google who will be there. I don't know. There is few more people. You know, there was one this I had them on my channels, but I want to tell you, every crypto influencer is the same. I want to tell you, it's not crypto. This doesn't represent crypto. And don't count that it's over. Don't think that tomorrow is brighter day. Be realistic. Be for yourself. And you don't have to be piece of shit to make it. You know, you don't have to make YouTube channel and be a shiller. You can actually get a job. You can be sponsored. You can be paid, whatever. But you can do it for the other contributions that you do. This was the message to the crypto I have. And with that, remember, you too can be a hero. Don Kryptoniums out.